Let's see. That's working. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everybody's doing well. It's been a while since I've been on. I don't even know. I think the 7th. The 7th might have been a Saturday, the last time I was on here. Could have been. Yep, the 7th was the last time I was, nope, that's December. 7th, yeah, somewhere around the 6th or the 9th or something like that. It's been a while, so hopefully everybody's doing well. Uh-oh. He unpaused. I made Benny unpause the Jennings Motorsports sound. The sound is on. I can see the microphone going. What's going on, Bob Bruce? What's up, Chris? What's up, Benny? What? Uh-oh, what's that? Spencer Wolf has become a member for a while. What's going on, Hobby Time? Omar? Good to see everybody. Hopefully, we got 11 people here. Hopefully, other people jump in the chat and say hello. So for anybody that doesn't know that is here, I haven't been on in a while because I have repaused. I haven't been here in a while because, unfortunately, what's up, Dan? Unfortunately, I had a wee bit of an accident on the 13th. I might have been on after that. I don't remember. It's been so long. But as you guys know, I got bit in the hand by my puppo dog by accident, and bad things happened. So right now I am out of work, but the hand is getting better. I'm doing physical therapy because I don't have 100% grip in this hand yet. The tendons are okay, but the most was the muscle damage down in the palm of my hand where I can't fully grip and hold on to things yet. So we're working on that because I don't need to be on a cold day shaking, going up a pole and lose my grip in my left hand and then bounce off the ground because I am not a bumble. Bumbles do not bounce, not at all. Okay, so for the bad news, for those of you, and hopefully I only have to say this once tonight, there will be no Christmas giveaway this year because it is just a very, very tight year. I thought I could make up the money. I took the Christmas money because I used it for Boyd's Memorial group build coins, which was more important to me to use that right away and get the coins for everybody that joined in on the group build. So we got those. I actually talked to John Dennett to let him know that I won't be ordering anything from him this year. And he unfortunately said it's been a rough year for him too. And it doesn't look like many Christmas orders. So a lot of people are just having a rough time this year. Hopefully it gets better next year. How Kenny got his grip back. That would be an interesting movie. Yeah, working on the hand, getting it stronger and stuff like that. It's healing up the scars. There'll be nice scars there, but the wounds they're not completely healed, but they're looking much better than the first day. So that's not a bad deal. And I don't know if I talked about this before, but the first week or two, it might have been the first week because I saw my doctor right away after that, telling him what happened. And at the doctor's office, it's mostly ladies, and pretty much everybody there has a dog. And they were all saying, "What are you, crazy? Just let the dogs kill the squirrels or whatever." Every lady there had a story. Most of them have retrievers or some other type of big dog, killing squirrels in their backyard, killing groundhogs, possums. The one lady was telling me that her rabbits had babies like under her shed, and the dog dug enough down to get under the shed and eat the baby rabbits. So they're like, dogs are going to do what dogs are going to do. If they're out there and they catch a squirrel or whatever, they catch a bird, just let them have at it. We have a professional trainer for a while. He came over and he said the same thing. If the dogs have something, let them do what they're going to do with the animal. They're going to kill it, and then they're going to bring it over to you as a present and say, "Hey, look what I did in the backyard. I saved our kingdom from this nasty little squirrel." So that's the plan from now on, is let them do what they got to do. What's going on, Ron? What's going on, Eric? Big Eric, good to see you, sir. Just keep moving your hands until it works right, and the constantly move. That's what my doctors have me doing, Benny. So because one of the worst parts is the where the artery vein, whatever she hit, there's scar tissue all up in here. Hey, what's up, brother, man?
What's going on, dude? Do you have
You stealing my easy? Make sure you give me my easy pass back, please.
Let me not get in the
No,
frame.
you can get in the frame. That's all right.
Hello all.
Hello, all. And in the palm of my hand, the scar tissue is building up too, so they don't want me just sitting doing nothing. I mean, I could sit here like this for a while, but they want me constantly moving everything. Otherwise, the scar tissue is going to build up and it'll stay tight, and that'll be worse. So I move it as much as I can until it hurts, and it's weird because it hurts in weird spots sometimes, but it's definitely getting better, and I keep moving it. Low grip could cause your hand to slip off the steering wheel when napping in the work truck. yes, it could, Chris. Definitely could. My dog saw a rabbit on the deck and ran back in the house. My dogs are not for running away from animals outside. Any animal they see outside, they want to catch and make sure that we know that they did a good job. Wired to get lesser creatures. Yeah, anything. What's going on, Christopher? Good to see you. Actually, Janie was out there yesterday, and there was a huge hawk. And at this time of year, when there's no leaves on the trees and the squirrels are up in the tree, there's always this one hawk. And it's every year he comes around. Dude, I don't know how he does it. He nails freaking squirrels all the time. He doesn't get them in the tree. He kind of swoops down so the squirrels will run. And that freaking guy comes down and pounces. He's killed doves in the backyard. The doves are the worst because I've seen him kill a dove or her, whatever kind of bird, female, male, I don't know what kind of bird, but swoop down, and when he hits a dove, the feathers just go poof. And I feel so bad for the dove, but it's nature, What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yes, and dogs will definitely eat anything. Off camera, Kenny, I think he's going to play some ice hockey right now. But yeah, so I learned my lesson about the dogs. If they have anything in the backyard, let them kill it and give it back to me as a treat. The first squirrel they killed, I wasn't stupid enough to put my hand in there because it was pretty much already dead. How they worked it last time was Willow bolted down to the end by the shed because that's where she saw the squirrel. So she came around as she was coming around one. Janie came around the front. The squirrel was running up, and they both herded it, the first squirrel, to Blaine, who was coming down the fence, and that squirrel shit his pants and didn't know what to do. Blaine is great at catching things. We play ball with him all the time. You could throw a ball, and he snaps it out of the air. And he just swooped in, got this guy one crunch, and he killed that squirrel too. They're definitely squirrel killers. Hawks are very cool. Hawks, I like I feel bad for the animals he gets, but it's nature. But the hawks he's a big hawk. But that's what I was saying about Janie. The hawk was out there, and Janeway was out there following that guy around the yard. I'm like, you're not going to catch the hawk. He's way up there. But Nanny has a small dog, so when the hawk's around, I have to make sure that I'm outside with the pup because she's small enough where the hawk, he's a big... The wingspan on this guy is just gigantic. So he could definitely pick her up and take her away. We wouldn't want that. Glory to nature until they mess up the backyard. Absolutely. Watching on the big TV, so I probably won't be chatting much. Okay. What's going on, Kaylin? Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. So that's the bad news for this year. The Christmas giveaway is going to be canceled. No big deal. We'll get that going again next year. The main thing is we all have a fun Christmas. We weren't going to decorate the house this year, but that has changed. Kenny wants to decorate, so him and Kelly will slowly decorate the house. And they said as long as it's up by December 24th, all is good. So we'll just hang out, watch movies this year, chit chat with you guys, and we'll have our good Christmas Eve dinner, and that's all that That's all that matters, that we have a good time, and we'll watch a lot of Christmas movies. Squirrels stole most of my hickory nuts this year, so I'm not sympathetic to them at the moment. No, not at all. Not at all. Without the tree, the problem with our backyard now is there's no trees, so we don't get many squirrels in here. The problem is they jump off the neighbor's tree and they run across the top. Instead of running across the wooden fence that's behind my fence where they would have more grip, they decide to run across the top of the vinyl fence, which is slippery. So the older, fatter ones fall in, and unfortunately, they don't make it out unless they make it to the front fence, and then they could get under the front fence because the other fences are they're too low to the ground for them. The small ones, if they're being chased, leap high enough where they make the top of the fence and they get out, and they're good to go. But it's the old fatties that don't make it. What's going on? One, I have model kits and some 3D prints I'd like to donate as giveaways. Oh, thank you very much, Omar. But we haven't done giveaway. I know for hold on, I see something.
I love juice.
Is it done yet? There it goes. It's done. We haven't done a giveaway in a long time. What's going on, Matt? Good to see you. You are 1 minute late. But yeah, we're just gonna hold off on Christmas this year. We'll have a good time anyhow. You know, spending with family and friends or whatever we're gonna do. I did get a new monster. That's the that's, I don't know if you can see it. I can't see what my glass. There it is. Yeah, that is the Anycubic M7 Max, the big printer, so we can do some big stuff. That I didn't buy. That came from HobbyLink International. The company bought that. So I have, unfortunately, with me, 100% of the time I get 40% done. So I'm not always doing things, but I got the notebook out. I'm writing things down. In January, we're going to start different so we could get more stuff up on the site 3D printed wise. For those people that don't have 3D printers and want to just buy model kits, they don't want to have to deal with the hassle of resin printers and the cleaning and all the good stuff that comes along with it. They just want models. We're gonna have more models up there. How I plan on doing it is January, February, skipping every month till the end of the year. So 6 months out of the year, we'll have bigger models done, bigger figures. It's mostly going to be figures, but we are trying to do some other stuff. And then the other, starting in February, April, and then the other, other 4 months after that, skippable months, will be busts. This way we could get more stuff up there. And we're going to slide some other stuff in too, because we do have some aftermarket parts for the 1/350 scale Enterprise that I got to print up. Those will be in clear for lighting. We're going to get some World War II stuff done, like cans and tires, I think, and stuff like that. Just small accessories for dioramas and all that good stuff. There was something else that we were going to do. If I could get car parts, I would do some car parts. Let me take these off because I'm sitting a little bit too far away for the reading. I went into a model shop today and didn't buy anything. I almost did, but remembered how my unbuilt kits I still have waiting for me at home. Yes, love my new K2 Plus doing a studio scale fighter. Nice. What? No giveaway? Don't throw a plastic cup around. No, there's no giveaway this year. Christmas is canceled. It's the year without a Santa Claus. That's what it is. The cups are coming out. I resist getting a 3D printer. No worries, Benny. Speaking of printing up stuff, I know I promised a couple people that I'm going to print stuff up. It's going to be on the back burner for a little bit till I'm done with the hand. And because I haven't printed anything since the injury, we are actually behind on stuff printing up for the shop. So that's going to have to come first before I print anything up. I have, I think, 2 or 3 people I promised I'd print stuff up for. But after those people are done, I'm not going to be printing up a lot of stuff for people on the side because I want to keep these machines moving with stuff for the shop. If there's a lull where I have enough things printed up and somebody needs something, then I can work with you and get things printed up. Hello, Deb and the family. Hopefully you're doing well. I went to the hobby shop and only got paint. The Grinch has struck. Nah, no Grinch. Unfortunately, like I said, the injury has stopped me from, for the first 2.5 weeks, my hand was like a balloon and I had open wounds. So I was not taking one, I couldn't put a glove on because it hurt way too much to put a glove on. Secondly, I couldn't risk by accident getting resin in any of the wounds because when you have a dog bite, they can't stitch you up because of bacteria from the dog's mouth. They don't want to risk the infection in the hand. And that's one thing I'm lucky with, that my dogs all have their shots and I didn't get any type of infection because I made sure I kept up on top of it. I don't know if I said this last time too. I had to go back to the hospital for a reevaluation 2 days later to make sure everything was good with the hand. And it was funny when I was walking out, the same security guard was there, and he's like, "You're the dog bite dude." He was like, "Dude, you were freaking gray. You were gray when you came in here." Well, of course I'm gray. The doctors estimated I lost about 15 to 20% of my blood between the time I was leaking until the time I stopped the bleed. So, and like I said, anybody that wasn't here and doesn't know, I had a major injury to, now 2 or 3 doctors are saying it's artery. One was saying it's a vein, but they were saying it had to be the artery because every time my heart beat, there was a 6 to 8 inch stream of blood that would, my heart would beat, and you would see the blood shoot out far and about almost a quarter inch thick. So it was pretty gnarly. First thing I did was I didn't panic. I don't know. I probably told the whole story. I didn't panic. Put the direct pressure on it. Had it above my head, but the only problem was the girls weren't listening outside. They didn't know what was going on, so I had to stop the compression of my hand and grab both dogs, and they were listening. But as I was running to the house, I was just shooting blood. Mom had to clean up the whole back door because when the door opened, there was blood all over the door, all over the floor, and then I got pressure back on it. Drove myself to the hospital. I got stopped by the train going across, so that didn't help any. I didn't tell Mom that I was nearly passing out. I was starting to feel sick and tingly, and so I took my seatbelt off. I didn't give a shit if a cop caught me or not. I would have just put up my hand and told him, "Listen, dude, I'm bleeding to death right now." So once we got past the train, then I just started speeding towards the hospital, and we got caught at a red light where it was backed up. So I cut across somebody's back lawn, right through the back lawn and down to the other side, and then sped to the hospital. You're supposed to get checked in by security when you get there, and I just rushed past him. I was like, "Dude, I'm freaking bleeding." The nurse grabbed me right away, got me in the room. So, and from there on, it was history, and I'm still around. Still around. It was very scary. Yes, Army training kicked in, Dan. Army training kicked in. I would have to say that's the only reason I did not panic, is because I knew what to do right away. And it messes with your head a little bit when you see yourself bleeding that much and bleeding that fast. So afterwards, I have talked to a couple combat veteran friends of mine that's seen some shit, and talked to them about some stuff. So, but yeah, it wasn't fun. Now the other thing is, all around here, you can't see, I don't think you can see this now. You can't see the shelves, but the shelves are half empty. I'm going through all of my models, seeing what I have and what I'm going to keep on the shop. I'm going to post on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. There's going to be a special place on the shop called Stash Sale. All the models will be on the regular shop where people can find them, but I'm going to give you guys that link once stuff is up, just in case you want anything. This way you can find it directly and easily on the site. So I'm going to be trying to move almost everything except for stuff that was gifts to me. Those are going to stay and those will get built. But everything else, I'm trying to get rid of. 1, I need cash. 2, I'm never going to build all this stuff here. So there's going to be a lot of Star Trek stuff, Battlestar Galactica stuff. There's a Godzilla that's going to be in there, some cars. Definitely the 1/72nd scale perfect grade Millennium Falcon. The 1/200 scale Titanic's going to be on there. A bunch of armor that I have from Tamiya, very few planes that we bought, like airliners and stuff like that, for the shop. So I'm trying to move all this stuff as much as I can, just to get a little bit of class. Yeah, we're on Twitter, we're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on our own site. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere. Got off of TikTok, not on the TikTok anymore. Shoo, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Benny damn near cut his arm off. He wrapped it in duct tape and went back to work 30 minutes. Tough old bastard. Indeed. Indeed he is. So right now, actually, I'm working on Krampus, trying to get that guy done. So that's my plan. Anything I have printed out, while I can't print, I think I might have one more print that I can actually do those, and then start getting on old stuff, you know, that witch that I always play. Yeah, no worries, Benny. That's sitting there for you. I didn't put that up on the site. That's on the side. So whenever you're ready, you're ready. Hey, what's going on, Ryder? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. I need to start over, Shu. So okay, Shu, we'll start over. We'll do a quick rundown for you, Shu. No Christmas giveaway this year, just because it's been a tough year for everybody. Anybody that wasn't here before, I used the money that Kelly and I put on the side for Christmas presents for Boyd's coins, because those were more important than Christmas presents to get those coins to you guys for the Halloween group build. So none of that. 3D printing's been on hold for a long time. I got to catch up with stuff for our shop. Once the shop is all caught up, then I can start printing stuff when the doc says, you know, I can do what I got to do. But I am moving the hand. It's definitely better. It's still got a ways to go. So that's about all you miss, you, and me telling stories about Janeway trying to catch a hawk up in the sky. What the hell is this? A Kalen live stream? Dirk! What's going on, Dirk? How you doing, kind sir? No, Kalen doesn't live stream anymore. Kalen doesn't live stream anymore. So yeah, I'm working on the good old Krampus. I got his hand done. I got crazy. If you haven't been seeing, right now I'm just doing shorts because I'm not going to do a full video on him because I didn't start a full video on him. But in the new year, I'm going back to doing both shorts and full videos on stuff. So I got the little crazy gingerbread man done. I got crazy creepy girl done. Next up, I'm going to be doing the little, whatchamacallit, what is he? Nutcracker. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Hold on, guys. I know you can't hear me. Now, hopefully, I don't drop any of this and break it because I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. We got big old Krampus here. I got his horns done too. So if you've seen the little, you can't see her. She's too tiny. But we got her done. We got crazy little girl done with her little teeth, which was a pain in the neck to paint her little teeth. But I wanted to get her done because she's one of the more difficult ones to do. This guy was easy. Little crazy gingerbread man. We could all take him. And then there's 2 more pieces. So he's got actually 5 separate figures. I got this guy next. This is the Nutcracker guy that we'll be doing. And we got him. I got his horns done. I got one hand done, which I was stupid. Thankfully, I remember what colors I used. I should have done both of his hands and his face at the same time I was doing flesh. But I didn't end up doing that at all. I ended up doing one hand for a short and then putting the paint away. And not finishing the other one. So hopefully I can match those up. But I do know the colors that I used. Omar, that girl creeps me out just like Chris. I do not like the creepy girl. This girl. This little angel girl, out of all of the little creepy characters from the movie, I do not like this girl. She's a little freaky. And if anybody's interested in this one, I can't print these out for sale because I don't have permission from Creative Geek. I'm going to have to join that Patreon. We are part of, I think, 3 or 4 Patreons. That's why I'm allowed to sell models of certain things. So we pay them, a Patreon price every month, and we get a bunch of files, and we'll be able to print those out. But eventually, I'll join Creative Geek because he has a bunch of cool stuff. So we got Big Krampus here, and he's going to be easier to print because if you guys remember, I put this guy right onto the I think I only had the M5S, and I really had to squeeze him on. So there's a few defects in here that are easy enough to fix up, but he'll be fixed up. But with the Max, I'll easily be able to print out this bigger stuff and have some of these ready for next year once I do join that. But money's tight, so I can't join them. HLI join the other ones. I don't want to have HLI pay for everything, so I want to join a couple of my own Patreons, and we'll still be able to print them out. It'll make the base easy. I squeezed the big base on there. And if you remember, Krampus on the front there, that's going to be lit up. And Krampus's eyes are going to be lit up. So this way he looks a little creepier. I got to paint the white on the bottom. I have 3 different types of snow, I think, from AK Interactive. I'm pretty sure. I got different snows. We're going to do the snow on the base, do a little gloss on there, but he's going to take me a little while because I got some filling to do and a lot of support marks to get off on him. And then the paint job isn't that bad on him. It's a lot of red and green, except for like this part back here. This is more like a sack of some sort. It's not red and green, and it's held down by chains. So I don't know what that is. I'm not going to paint that red and green. I'll probably paint that more of a tan and dirty it up a bit and get that looking okay. There's one more guy for this. What am I missing? Kenny, I tried the motion AI. I guess my builds aren't good enough. They all morphed into nightmare fuel. I don't like the AI thing. Definitely. If you haven't seen, I know Dirk loves Facebook. Dirk is on Facebook 24/7. Gets in trouble at work all the time. They tell him get off the Facebook. But on Facebook, on my feed, a lot of people are doing dioramas and standard, static models like we all do. But they're putting them into this AI generated thing. And I would say 99% of them look goofy. They don't look good at all. I prefer looking at the static model. Basically, my opinion on it is that I want to see what the artist did. All you guys put a lot of hard work into it, especially some of these dioramas and stuff people are building are beautiful, and then they put it into the AI and it looks like crap. So I'd rather see what you did as an artist, putting all that hard work into it instead of letting AI mess it up. AI has its place for a bunch of things, but making motion out of these things, it's just not for me. It's not a thing for me. Ruben, as if he doesn't look creepy enough. A sack of naughty children. Yeah, his sack isn't. His sack really isn't. They didn't put a bulge or anything there, so I'm figuring it's empty right now before he captures the naughty children. So we'll do that. There's like more of a little cloak down the side. So I got to look at some pictures and see how they did theirs, because actually the pictures that Creative Geek have on there doesn't look like it was built by somebody. It looks more like they put it, when they're drawing these, they can put it through the program and put the colors in and stuff like that. So I'll see what they did, because it even looks like that might be part of the sack down the side. His sack. Dirty old man. It's a sack. Yeah. Hello, Chuck. What's going on, Chuck? Dirk is addicted to Facebook. He's just in denial about it. Pass it on. Absolutely. Dirk loves the Facebook. He absolutely does. Hold on. Oh, did I glue you in there? I did glue you in there. And I glued this one in here. All right. Let me get that. Let me get this, because I got to fix up cameras and stuff. This way I don't have to jump back and forth like this, and I can go to the desk. The last guy, and because these, when I printed them up solid. This, I don't know if you can see this guy. You might be able to see him. You might not. But this guy here, he's heavy because he's solid printed. I don't know why I didn't hollow him out, but he's solid printed on, and I had to glue him on here. But he is the evil Jack in the Box. So this is the last part of him. If you've seen the movie, I'm pretty sure he swallows the kid. Just fucked up, man. But that's the last guy here. So he'll be the last one. The next one, he goes to the left-hand side of Krampus over here. I'll pull it. I'll see if I can pull it back. He goes to the left-hand side. The little girl will be right in front of him. The Nutcracker goes on the side, and then the little gingerbread man goes over there. And then he's got, I never know if I put these in the right spot. Nope. This one goes here, I think. This one goes here. Nope. That one goes there. And then, of course, he's got his Krampus horns over there, which are very cool. I did those a while ago. And then I don't think his hands is going to sit in there very well. No, because I got to glue that in. The hole is a little too big, but I did get his hand done. If you're not a part of it, come join community.hobbylinkinternational.com. I posted pictures over there. I posted them on Facebook. But I'm definitely enjoying Krampus. I'm hopefully get him done before Christmas because he is, he is the Christmas build. How dare you? Hey, what's going on, Ken? Another Ken has showed up. So that's what we got going on with him. Now I'm waiting on Cheeto Box because they don't have the M7 Max on there yet, and I don't like Lychee. I was looking through Lychee Slicer. The one specific thing that I love Cheeto I pay for now. Well, actually, HLI pays for it. The one thing I love about the slicer itself, which I haven't found on the Anycubic slicer, and I haven't found on the Lychee slicer unless I'm missing it, is what Omar taught me about supports. Putting the little spheres on top. I know I've talked about this a million times, but when you're doing your prints, don't just leave the tops with nothing on there. Add, if you're 3D print, add the spheres on top, because when I did a short on it a while ago, when I first did my Mickey Mouse and when I was first printing, if you just use supports without any little, without the spheres on top, when you pull those supports off, even if you run it under hot water, it always digs a little hole into the resin. Unless you sit there with clippers and clipping every single one of those little supports off, you're going to end up with little holes, and then you got to go back in there, fill all those little holes in. And Omar said, "Brother." "What's up, brother?" He said, "Brother, man, what are you doing?" He said, "Put spheres on top of your supports." One of the best pieces of advice that Omar gave me was that putting the spheres on top. For those that 3D print and didn't know this, the spheres leave, when you take them off the correct way, put them under hot water, or gently pull them off, it'll leave that little sphere behind on here, and instead of filling in a gap, it takes literally 2 seconds to sand down that little sphere, and it doesn't leave a hole, and you have a flat surface again, instead of trying to sit there and fill in every little dot. The other thing I learned about Omar is I try my hardest to put supports all towards the back of a model, because if there is some deviations or something that really doesn't look good, most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, your model's going to be facing this way anyhow, so people can look at it dead on, or from a 3/4 or a 3/4. You're not really showing off the back unless you got it on a pedestal, spinning around. And then if there is something that's not the greatest, at least it's towards the back and you don't have to worry about it too much. But with Omar's guidance, I've learned a lot about 3D printing. The movie is definitely more extreme than the standard delivery of a bundle of switches. Spheres are on the Anycubic. Yes, I only use Anycubic. What's going on, Jalen? I didn't find spheres on Lychee, and I know Anycubic does have spheres. I'm gonna have to check out the Anycubic then, if they have spheres on it. I couldn't find to add them on top, so I might be able to do a little printing. You've printed with the Max already, Shu? I haven't tried. I've never. You're always a great help, Omar. Always been a great help with the 3D printing, which is awesome. And it's all your fault about the 3D printing and moving my my model kits. I'm going to be moving the model kits. Yes, I am definitely going to be one. If I can move most of this, hopefully I can. I'm definitely going to be just 3D printing from now on. There will be no more model kits for me unless there's something really cool that comes out that I really, really want. It's going to be 3D prints, because I really don't build cars that much. A military, I'm not really into military, and the best thing now is just planning out where I can put models and put up display shelves and cabinets. I can fit so many more figures like this, even like this, into a cabinet than I can put, a big Millennium Falcon or something like that. There's going to be very few big things I build that I'll have space for. But yeah, and even if I want something like a TIE Fighter or something, I can easily get those as a 3D print. There's so many nice 3D prints out there. Stop your crying, Dirk. Stop your crying, Dirk. Hey, John, Mr. Upstate State Scale Modeling. Hopefully you're doing well, sir. Look at him crying. No more models, just 3D. I have so many. That's the one good thing about 3D printing too. The unbelievable amount of files that I have now just through Patreon, which I don't keep on my whatchamacallit computer anymore. I just keep them on Gumroad until Gumroad says we're going out of business, and then I got to download all those files. If Kenny says no more models, they'll finally repop the Buck Rogers Starfighter, so I support him. That's right, no more models. But I can print out the Starfighter. I definitely can print that out. There's a few guys out there that do excellent work, but even with you buying their files, they don't have a Patreon, and they don't want to let you. I guess they're scared of people casting their stuff, especially in China, and selling it multiple times. But like Antonio Dato or Dato, I don't know how to pronounce his last name correctly. Like, he does phenomenal work with Star Trek busts and all other busts, but he won't let you even print out, which I don't blame him, because I can see somebody casting those. But I would love to be able to print out his busts and put them up for sale for you guys that don't have 3D printers and would love to see them. Like, he just came out with one, and I've been trying to look for it on CG Trader, but if anybody's been on CG Trader in the past week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, it's all effed up. You go on somebody like Antonio's page, and then you click where it says to see all, say, 75 of his models. It brings you right back to the home page. So I don't know what's going on with CG Trader, so I can't see all of his stuff, but he does have a lot of awesome stuff. Models are very, very expensive. Very expensive. The files aren't. I mean, it depends on who you buy from. Some are more on the expensive end. Some are not on the expensive end. Like the ones that I got to print up too, like Mr. Magoo. Once my hand is better, I got to print up his head again. I talked to, I don't know if you say UL or UEL. I got to ask him. But I always say UEL. His stuff, he doesn't want anybody selling printed stuff either, but I did get permission from him, me, and one other person. I'm sure there's plenty of people that do it without permission and they're selling them at other places, but I know me and one other person only have direct permission from UEL to sell, to, because we're part of his Patreon. His Patreon was actually cheap, and I actually pay him more, or the company, I should say, pays him more for Patreon, just to, as a little, hey, you're letting us use your files to print, to put on our shop. We're going to give you more money than you're actually asking for. So only 2 of us are allowed to print those up, and I got to start printing more of those up. This way I can get them on the shop, because I know most of us are all the same age. I got Fred Flintstone. I think I got Barney Rubble, Mr. Magoo. I'm trying to think what else. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I got to get his Dungeons and Dragons stuff, which Augie Gonzalez painted up. I love the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that he has. Those are friggin' awesome. We're part of Abe 3D, CA 3D. I think Wicked. Who else? We got like 3 or 4. Secret location. I sent Kenny a PM on his OnlyFans. I'm gonna go look for your feet. Somebody did did you send me on OnlyFans? I'm looking on OnlyFans. No, but Joe Hudson messaged me on Facebook, which I can't really answer right now. I think Cheaterbox will have a new beta version coming out that will support the M7. Hopefully they come out with their beta version soon, because I really like Cheeto over everything else. One of the reasons I do like Cheeto too, because like in Lychee, when you make a hole, you put the rod there, and it leaves, I guess, like a little disc to show you where the hole is, and I really can't tell if the hole is going through or not. Whereas with Cheeto, when I put the hole, after I hollow out the model, it actually shows you the hole, so I can see through it. I know the hole is there. I know where the hole is going to be. I know what size it's going to be. So it's like anything else. When you get so used to something, you don't want to move anything to anything else. But they have some cool features on the Pro version. Like, I have no idea what it does, but after I'm done, they have an advanced fix mode, which fixes a lot of the triangles that are bad and stuff like that. Cavities, sometimes it'll fix on its own. A cavity is when they make the model, there'll be like a thin piece, like here on his jacket or his cloak or whatever it is. There's a little hole here where I had to dig, which was it wasn't a solid piece. There was a small cavity in there, and if I don't open that up, there's going to be resin that doesn't cure in there, and if that resin doesn't cure over time, it could make this crack and burst, and we don't want that to happen. And Cheeto could fix that. But they have this one thing called coating, and I didn't know what it was, and I just used it to see what it was, and it looks like it will take away some, I guess maybe it's like an anti-aliasing, where it does take away some of the layer step lines. But at the printing, like I said, the printing that we're doing with the 12K and the 14K, those Ks really don't matter. It's the light systems and stuff. I don't know the exact verbiage of it, but they've gotten so good where the only way, unless you really screwed up the print, the only way you see those step lines is if you have magnifiers on, or you're bringing it like this. And if I bring it this close to my face, it's blurry anyhow. I can't see. You're not going to see it with paint and primer on there. From this far away, I couldn't even tell if there was a layer line on here or not because I already have it primed up. But don't get yourself crazy if you got your magnifiers on and you're working on a 3D print and you see those layer lines. Just remember, you have it now magnified, whatever you got on there. I think I used 3 times. So you're magnifying those layer lines by 3 times. So you're going to absolutely see them. You're really not going to see them on this. And this one's only, the big one, they didn't even up the K on it. It's still 7K. But Omar sent me a picture because I was like, how's the 7K? Is it good? He sent me a 7K picture of one of the things he printed out and painted. I couldn't tell the difference between the 7K, the 14K I have, or the 12K. They all looked really good. It all depends on your settings, your orientation, all that good stuff. It's taken me a while. I'm getting better and better. I'm still not perfect at it. I try to get them the best I can. This way they're easier to work with. The cartoon of her on the broom. Yes, I have Bewitched. I know Bewitched is only good, like the files right now. The only place I seen them were for us Patreons that belong to his Patreon. I don't think he's put the Bewitched files up for sale yet. But she will be one of the full characters that we will be putting on the shop. How we're going to do the shop is I'm only going to print up like 2 or 3 at a time, and then see how demand is. If demand is good, then I'll have the files on a thumb drive. What we're doing is we're buying a shitload of thumb drives. This way, once I get one that is of excellent quality, it's already on the thumb drive. It'll be labeled, and nothing else on that goes on that thumb drive. So say we do the Bewitched one and she's moving really well, I don't have to go searching through 20 thumb drives and find the files and remember which one's good, because I have a bad habit of not deleting bad things and then printing something up and it was like, shit, that was the wrong file and I got to print it again. So it's going to be one, toss it in there, let it print up overnight, and do its thing. The beta holes and rods. Come on now, Kenny said. The Krampus is for sale. Etsy just found it there. The Krampus, this thing? Yeah, fuck Etsy. First off, nothing against you, John, but fuck Etsy. It's the biggest place for criminal activity with stealing files and selling things that people shouldn't be selling. And if FT ever watches, fuck them too, because they do nothing about it. What's happening, and it's gonna happen, is that sooner or later, these guys are not going to make... I just thought about it. Somebody's going to make a meme out of that. Sooner or later, they're going to not do this anymore. It's not going to be worth the artist's time or effort to make STL files for somebody to buy, and then some fucking asshat on Etsy stealing their file and selling it for frickin' $1.50 or $3. If I can find each and every one of those, I would beat them with a baseball bat and leave them for dead. Indeed, I would. And then what they're doing too is they're printing these up. Like, I won't print this up. I will not print this up because I only paid for it for my own personal use, but they will print them up. They'll put them on Etsy, and then they'll sell them when they're, no respect for the artist out there. None at all. So that's my rant for tonight. Speaking of STLs, and I'm sure we'll get will get pirated, but we have STLs for sale now on our shop.hobbylinkinternational.com. I got Chippy up there, 2 variations of Chippy. We have 2 of the George Bailey busts up there. We're selling the files because the models weren't really selling that well. So if you want those are up there. And I also have from Dana, I have the Resistance B-Wing Fighter in 1/32nd scale and the Resistance B-Wing Fighter in 1/72nd scale. I warn you now, if you get the B-Wing Fighter in 1/32nd scale, the bigger version, the long wing is not cut. You'll either have to, if you have a smaller printer, you're not going to be able to print it full. You'll have to slice it and then put it together afterwards. If you have a big printer like this guy, or what is it, the Saturn's the big printer, you'll be able to print it out in one shot. So you may want to go for a smaller. Who cares, man? Exactly. Who cares? But yeah, with those 2, it's going to take a while. Actually, me and I don't know if you guys know Alain Rivard. He does a lot of great Star Wars stuff, but he just put up some idiots pirated him just recently, and he caught them. And they're selling his stuff for a lot cheaper than he sells his files. Plus, somebody in China is printing off his stuff and selling it. So he's getting to the point where he's putting in so much work. And you got to remember, this guy is doing this for a living to feed his family, pay his rent or mortgage or whatever. And these scumbags are stealing his work and not giving him, at least give him something. You make a deal with the guy. Hey, I'm printing these up. I'm selling them for $95 a pop or $150 a pop. Every one I sell, I'll give you $30 or whatever it's for. But there's the Etsy's garbage. Etsy's a garbage place. That's not slander either, Etsy. Your place sucks. Bob is back. Bob's gonna be here for a while. But yeah, I cannot stand Etsy. When I do search for files, most of the time Etsy will be the first thing that comes up. And as soon as I see a file for like $1.50, I know they ripped off the artist. It's like on Facebook too, because I search a lot of 3D printing things. I get advertisements for 3D prints, and there's 2 major advertisements. One's in America and one's a Spanish one. And they sell in these 3,000 STL value packs. So I decided to go to the site, and you look through the pictures and you could pick it out. You could say, oh, that one's CA3Ds, that one's Wickeds, that one's Elaine's. And they stole all the thousands and thousands of files, and they're selling them for like $30, and people are buying them. And those are the assholes too. Anybody that's buying that stuff, fuck you. I don't care if you hear me. You're an asshole for buying pirated shit. You're just ruining the hobby, and I really don't care. If you want to say something to me, you can say something to me. I don't give a shit. What's up, Mark? The Jungle Book is awesome. Elaine does really, really incredible work. Definitely does some really, really nice work. Telegram's another place. What's going on, Liam? Yeah, Telegram's got a lot of I use Telegram, but I use Telegram just for a chat service between me, Paul, Tommy, and Spence. We use that for business stuff. eBay is also real bad. I have to block entries from China and Canada now because there are a bunch of stolen files. Yeah, they do nothing. Yep, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's a great thing that we have 3D printing, but what people do to other people, excuse me. No, the Reliant rant, it had a hole in it, so that rant wasn't that bad. There is a nice 1/72nd scale TIE bomber out there. I forgot who made it. I don't know if Elaine has one. Elaine might have one, but there is a really nice one out there that Augie, Interstellar Modeler, did. I forgot how much that one was. That's a kind of a pricey file, but it's a nice file because he printed that out and painted it up, and that came out really good. That came out really, really nice. But like I said, if you're searching on CG Trader right now, CG Trader's a little wonky because you try to see somebody's catalog of stuff they have, and it just drops you right back to 3D prints, and you can't find whatever you're looking for. The Rely rant. The Rely rant is actually going to be for sale. That is going to be for sale. That'll go up on the shop. My Revell 1/72nd scale Millennium Falcon, the other Millennium Falcon from the old MPC one that they repopped and said they made better. That one will be up for sale. So I got a few. The only one that's not going is the one Shu gave me. I'm keeping that one to build that one. Oh, I seen that, Omar. He got royally screwed, and you can tell that all of that work was his work. That was just wrong. That was wrong. They stole everything that he did and made models of it. And I think they put a cease and desist on him. Let's be fair. The rant caused you to tell someone to F off. You were on fire that. Did I tell somebody? Did I tell him to F off? I don't remember if I told him to F off. Most of what I build is from Gambody. I go on to Gambody too. The Titanic did not sell yet, but the Titanic will be for sale in the U.S. Hey, the Reline is different. It's got a hole. That's right. The Reline is different. It's got a hole in it. But no, the big 1/200 scale Titanic I am selling. Don't go crazy when I tell you how much the Titanic is, because shipping is nuts. Unless you live close to me where you don't have to pay shipping, I'll let that go for what I bought it for $450. But with shipping in the U.S., it's about $600 to ship that sucker. Well, price plus shipping. But no, the big Titanic is not gone yet. Because I didn't put that on the site yet. I got to put the big 170. I have a 1/72nd scale perfect grade, never opened. That'll Millennium Falcon. That'll be going up for sale. The 200 Titanic, everything's still in the box. I haven't opened that up. In the descriptions, I'll put if it's opened and stuff like that, like packages are open. But most of my models I just open to look at or review. Some of my older models from when I was younger still have a ton of stuff in there that I'll just discount the price if somebody wants it. The other thing I'm doing is I think I need a large USPS box. I actually found a box of sprues with Tamiya figures and extra parts and stuff like that. I'm going to pop all that into a box and call it a mystery box. And if somebody wants it for like $50, they can have a whole bunch of sprues with a whole bunch of different parts on there. I'm not going to guarantee what's in there because it's just all part. They could be some full models in there. I think there's a full tank might be in there. And then it's just like men and extra parts, guns and canteens and helmets. I think there might be some stuff from my CVN 65 in there that I didn't use, but it'll be a mystery box of sprues. I'm close. You want to buy the Titanic? Kenny, you can drive any kit side by down for me. I'll pay in case it's a Dr. Pepper's good. Ice making company for their logo. Paying Pepper. Now that's a thought. No, I need cash. Robert redid his warp ship and super detailed. You may have to contact him to directly buy it. Yeah, he did a beautiful, beautiful job on the Phoenix, and that was a shame to see. Yeah, I've totally lost interest in plastic model kits. Since I'm a kid, I've always loved figures, but I've always sucked at it, and I still suck at painting figures. But that's where my heart was always with models. You know, I love the sci-fi stuff and everything like that, but plastic kits just don't do it for me. One is I really don't have the room for the big ships. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not going to be hanging them from my ceilings. I don't have the space for it. Two, you know, I have to sell these things for the prices basically I bought them for, a little more. They're just ridiculously expensive. I paid, I think it was because I have CG Trader points. I think I paid $15 or $17 for the file. I use standard Anycubic resin, which is $17 to print it out. And, you know, that cost me a lot less for something that I really want and I can't get as a model kit. So it's definitely the way for me to go. I'll still do a couple. Like I said, I'm not getting rid of everything. I'll still do some model kits, or if I see something that really catches my eye that I want in plastic, I'll still do some plastic kits. It's just, I've fallen in love with 3D printing. 3D printing is my thing now. Trick or Treat Studio. They have a Patreon. Gumroad accounts came out. Were very nice. I Dream of Genie 3D model. Oh, I got to check that out. I would love to have. Actually, UEL has an I Dream of Genie one that I got to do that. Whatchamacallit did. Let's see. Titanic model 1.1 Porsche. Forget the Porsche. You want the Titanic. Jurgen will get done one day. One day I got to finish because Joe Benjen gave me that one. So he will get done. That'll be plastic. I have some plastic model kits here that are shelf queens that I got to finish. I got to finish the Invisible Man's diorama, light it up. I'm still waiting on a Thunder and Lightning board for that one. I got Superboy. I got to finish up my Grim Reaper diorama. So I do have plastic things I'm going to do, but I definitely love my 3D printing. I want to sell my 1/72 Black Pearl, but it's way too big to bother putting together in a box. Yeah, it's going to be tough selling things. I have no feedback on the M7 Max because I have not touched it, Omar. It's just out of the box, sitting there. I turned it on to make sure it works, but because Cheeto doesn't have it, I haven't printed. I think it's the same. Well, the file name would be different. I think it's the same exact dimensions as the M3 Max. I'm pretty sure, so I could use the build plate from that. But the only problem is the file name for the M3 Max wouldn't coincide with the file name for the 7. So I'm waiting. I'm just waiting on Cheeto. You know, Shu must have used Lychee. So I'm waiting. I have all the time in the world to wait for this. The first thing that's actually getting printed on this, because there was a vote on YouTube what my next build was going to be, and it's going to be the Jason Voorhees from the next build we're going to print up is going to be the Jason Voorhees from Wicked, but he doesn't really fit on these. I can shrink him down and fit him, but I don't want to shrink him down because it's a nice size diorama. So he's getting fully printed on here. I'm going to go into 3D Builder because there's a girl like at the bottom of the dock. Don't you even think about it, Chris. There's a girl at the bottom of the dock, but they split the water, so I'm going to go into 3D Builder and put the water together. This way I can print that out as one and hopefully print that out as clear, and then use the transparent paints from Monument Hobbies, the Pro Acryl, and build that up, you know, a darker green at the bottom, spray it more, and as progressively get lighter up top where the water would get thinner. So I got a lot of ideas. I think you will like it. I like the Wi-Fi printing and heating the resin out. The heating is a cool thing. Oh, you use the Anycubic slicer? Maybe I'll jump on the Anycubic and look for the spheres. Now that the printers have heaters and heated vats, saving for one so I can use it in the basement. Yeah, the heating is a nice element to it. The other thing I like, Shu, I don't know if you had to press a button, Shu, on it, but I was watching a video where the build plate will raise up and down to mix up the resin that you got in there if it's sitting too long, like in between prints or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but I was watching that. I know the build plate will go up and down and keep while you have the heater on, keep the resin moving. This way it doesn't, you know, like it when I leave it for just a couple days, it splits apart the resin, and I got to really mix it up and get that going. The speed is good. It seems to be about the same as the M5S. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I got to check out the Anycubic. Dan, isn't that a regular kit? Anybody that's doing the Secret Santa, we're getting close. I'm being lazy. I got to get mine out. I got to send actually I got to send 2 Secret Santas out because unfortunately, you know, we had 2 people that couldn't be in it, so I picked up an extra one, so I'll be sending those out. I'll reach out to you some more on it, Lord Shu. Yeah, I can't wait to print and get on the Jason Voorhees one. That'll be one of my Halloween builds for Boyd's Memorial build for next year. So that'll be the Jason Voorhees, and I'll finish up Donald Duck as Freddy Krueger. I'll be doing him too. Definitely be doing him, but I got to finish this guy up first. He's definitely on the list to be done first. Hopefully in a few more weeks to a month, I'll be able to to print, I'm going to check out the Anycubic slicer and see if I could do something on there. There is a couple, I don't know if you've seen on Gambody, but I want to get it. What was it, The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? When the creepy dude is coming on the horse and they're hiding underneath the roadway by the tree trunk. There's somebody made a very cool 3D file of that. I want to get that and paint that one up. Definitely like that. And I got to get I actually got a whole bunch of Harry Potter stuff. I got the one you got, Shu. I got the Harry Potter with the book. Nagini, Hedwig, Harry, and Lord Voldemort. I got that big one. I'm going to be printing that guy out on here. That guy's on here full size. The one thing I do, if you're looking at getting a bigger printer, I know this is going to print fine. I love Anycubic, but one of the things I like, these are lift off. Not that you can see what I'm pointing at, but these Anycubic ones, my smaller ones, actually those are medium size. They're lift off hoods. What I like about this one, it's a little tight. Oh, there goes paperwork that I need. That one, this one goes up and down like this so I can get into it. The build plate, on this thing is just gigantic. One other nice feature they have in here, which I wish they would have done a little different, just a little bit different, kind of like Uniformation did. Uniformation has it a little thing on the side over here where you could put the build plate up and it'll drip in. But what Anycubic did, and be careful, is they put two little hooks up there now. I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of dark, but they put two little hooks, and this sits on about a 5-degree angle, so the resin will pour down to this corner and drip over here. The nice thing about the heater on here, on this guy, is on the M7 Pro, there's a big knot in the back. They really reduced the size of it. I'll whip this off real quick. The vat is huge too. Okay. The vat is gigantic on this thing. I didn't take any of the labels off or anything like that because I don't want it ruined. But if you see this little notch here, this is the heater. They made it much smaller. On the M7, it was a gigantic heater, but this will heat up the vat. You can do the controls on the platform itself, and the nice thing is they actually added kind of like a little spout. I don't know if you can see it on this corner here. One of the main things with the other ones, my M5s, they don't have that spout, so it drips all down the corner. So hopefully this will be a nice little stream coming out and won't have that problem anymore. And this just flips back in here, and I will definitely be getting a second vat for this. This thing back here, the white thing, if you can see it, if the boom arm isn't in the way. No, that's the wrong way. I'll toss it over there and yell at you. But that thing back there is an auto feed system, the white thing here. That's an auto feed system for the resin, which I will never use. I will always just put my resin in there by hand. I think it holds almost 2 kilograms of resin in there, so that'll be plenty, and I'll just keep an eye on it. And let me take this and put this back before that falls and breaks my screen. They do have a port in the back, but nobody knows what venting system to put on there because there's nothing out there for it yet. What I do like too is on the front damn thing, on the front here, am I in the way? Krampus is in the way. Everything's in the way. On this guy, the power button's on the front now. On these guys, it's in the back and a pain in the ass to get to. This you just hold in on the front. You got to hold it a couple seconds, and then the machine will turn on, and then you can go through all your settings on here. It's a beautiful machine. The rails, I hate these guys that engine brake. The rails are solid, just like on the other M5s and all the other Anycubic ones. The rails are really, really solid on here. The access is still a screw going up. This turns on. It gives you your component status. Right now, it's telling me that with the temperature in here, the VAT right now is, and I'm going to need anybody that's into Celsius. The VAT right now is at 22.47 degrees Celsius. I run my heaters and warm my stuff up to 30 degrees Celsius. I don't remember the temperature for that, but I know that was a good... Take care, Liam. The dot matrix had a spout. Yeah, the other two don't have a spout. I'm trying to think of what else is on here. The Wi-Fi I'm not going to use, because we're going to have our little USBs with all the things that we need on it. I think you can actually store some files on here, because the first one is storage, then USB, and then you got the cloud. If I'm going Wi-Fi, I could get stuff off the cloud. Then you got settings. You could do your Z-axis to 0 point. You can level, which I'm glad. This actually, I don't know if it's self-leveling. I'm glad this has, I don't think it's self-leveling like these two are. I'm glad you can level, because if you guys do decide to buy an Anycubic M5S, just the S, because they're on sale and they're a good price, make sure when you get that M5S, if it is the build plate with a solid neck on it and has no leveling screws, do yourself a favor, get a hold of Anycubic right away and see if they'll send you the M5S Pro build plate, because it's the same size build plate, but the Pro version, you can level it. It's self-leveling, but you can also level it. What Anycubic found out was that a lot of the original ones with the solid neck, the build plates were kind of warped in the middle, and they came out with a version 2 where you can level it. So the self-leveling, that was my problem. If you guys remember, I was going crazy with bad prints, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It ended up being that solid neck build plate. Once I got the second build plate that I could level, I leveled it on my own with a sheet of paper. It's very easy to do. Then my prints were fine. So if you do get the one on sale, the M5S and the M5S Pro are very, very good. They're very good medium-sized machines. I love them. I want to get a few more, at least two more of the M5S Pros. I'm trying to think what else this guy does. Print logs, got a whole bunch of information, settings, and all that other good stuff on here. I cannot wait to print on it. The only problem is, and you can probably see it in the video, that the word Anycubic slants this way. One of the things I wish they did was, for you guys that had the Anycubic, what did I have? The Mono X. That actually had feet that leveled. Neither one of my Anycubic over here, the M5S or the M5S Pro, have feet that level. This one doesn't have feet that level either. I wish it did, so I could raise this side up. The problem is I have them on those plastic tables. And I couldn't lift this because of my hand. So Kenny Jr. did this all. I think this is almost 60 pounds, this guy. He's a heavy guy, or she's a heavy guy. See, you can see that. Like, this is towards the, I don't even know if this is the middle of the table or where this is, but the table is uneven, and it's not even more that it's uneven, it's just that it's heavy. Is that the middle of the table? Yeah, this is actually not even the middle of the table. The middle of the table's over here, but because of the weight of it, and it's a flimsy plastic table, this is no good. What I did with those guys to level it out, I put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood under there to make sure that it was stable, and those two guys are stable over there. So again, I'm taking Omar's advice. I'm going to be looking around for stainless steel medical tables. I actually went on Uline and found stainless steel tables, but they're quite expensive. and I'm not going to pay that price. I'm sure I can find some medical overstock ones somewhere. But that's what I'm going to start putting my 3D printers on. This way, if I get resin on the stainless steel, wipe it off, no problem, because I want to have some nice desks over here, and I don't want those ruined with resin. So we'll put the printers over there. We're going to get rid of these shelves eventually, and just have a whole printing setup and stuff. 72.4 degrees. Thank you very much, sir. The M5S does not have a spout, you crackhead. It's got, all right, I have to change the FEP on this one because I screwed it up. The M5S and the M5S Pro have these little corners that are cutouts that it drips down the side. The 7 Max has a lip out here, a spout that comes off. These do not have spouts like that thing does. See what happens when you leave your resin in there too long, and then you go to do a vat clean, and you get pissed off and you hit it with what did I hit that with? I don't remember what I hit that with, but yeah, I messed that one up. Thankfully, I have more FEP, or FEP. I got to change that one. Yes, you can. It stores files for the cloud and Wi-Fi. Nice. I had that same issue, but found a way to leave that one too. Level that one too. How did Cody help me with the print? Yeah, that printer is heavy. Oh, that's a good idea too. Anything metal. This way, if I get resin on there, I'm not worried. I could just spray it down with the alcohol, clean it off, because we will, like I said, eventually this will be gone. That'll be a false wall, and that's where the printers are going to go. And that'll be the printer station. Just have them all lined up on that side and let them do their thing. How about a restaurant supply store? That's a good idea too, Tom. What's going on, Tom? Good to see you. Yeah, Chris, that one has only the little cutouts, but the M7 Max has a nice fat lip, little spout that goes over the side, more of an overhang. So when you're pouring it back into the bottle, you should be able to make a nice stream going. So many things tonight. Nice stream going back into the bottle, where this one just drips down the side, and then you get it in the screws and all that other good stuff, and it's a pain in the neck. Yeah, I don't think I want to put in anything that moves. I want it solid. I know you can lock down the wheels. Does mine have a wooden top? My Husky has a wooden top out there, but you're right. They do, Kaylin, have the ones with the stainless steel tops. That actually might be a good idea too, if it had bigger cabinets, because the workbenches, the steel chests with the drawers like my Husky, the drawers are too small on some of them, except for the bottom, but that's a good idea too. Definitely a good idea. Oh, 8:47. We've been chit-chatting for a while. I'm going to have to take these doggies out again soon. But yeah, that's what's going on here. Plans for the new year. I'm going to get out of my usual 40% rut. Tommy has 657. He did the labels already. He's building, I forgot how many full boards he has, but 657 new boards, an assortment of HLI FX001s and 002s. So we can have those back on the shop finally. And then they're going to go to poor Spence, and they take a while to program and everything, because Spence is very diligent about looking over the boards, making sure everything's good, putting the program on there, testing the boards. Yeah, they do a lot of work, Tommy, between Tommy and Spence. Paul does the website, and I just chit-chat. After filing for bankruptcy. Yeah, everybody really doesn't care from what I've seen about them. What's going on, Mike? Shapeways I ordered a couple times from, and their quality control was garbage, and everybody's complaining about how they lost all of everybody's information, especially with a bankruptcy case. And there were a lot of businesses, like Chris in here was part of, he had his own little business on there, I think. Yeah, nobody's really excited about Shapeways coming back. I could care less if they came back or not. Shopify and Etsy. Oh, great. Etsy. Yeah, I wouldn't do any business with Shapeways anyhow. Oh, I forgot. There's the mysterious FX003 coming. I did not want to bring that up, Spence. I did not know where we were at with that, but yeah, there could possibly be something Spence is talking about over there with the FX003, some new stuff coming out. See, Chris is not putting his shop back up on Shapeways, and it's bullshit. How do you lose all that? Nothing's lost on the internet. You know, is there something up where they maybe had to pay people money and they lost all that information? They're a shady group. I wouldn't deal with anything with them. Not at all. And this is going to be, it's not a joke or anything, but CEOs need to watch out these days. It's crazy out there, so you can't mess around with the little guy anymore, especially after what just happened in New York City. So if I was a CEO, I wouldn't mess around too much. It could be a Viper board, could be a Thunder and Lightning board, could be a few boards in there. I know Spence has ideas all written down with what the board will do and stuff like that, but you know, Spence might drop some hints about things that are coming. Definitely might drop some hints about what's coming. All right, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock. We were on for about an hour and a half. Thank you for hanging out and listening to me. I'm sorry I've been gone a while, but yeah, I'm still working on this bad boy right here. So it'll still be a few more weeks of therapy before I get a full grip, but getting better and better. You know, I'm able to move it a lot more, but I just got to make sure scar tissue doesn't build up in here, and I want to be able to climb. Thundercat board, Chris. I don't know. Ooh. Thundercats. Ho. So I'm gonna get out of here and see what Kelly's doing, because I'm sure she needs help with something, and then we'll get these doggies out. So it's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And again, sorry about Christmas, but there's always next Christmas. There's always more Christmases to come. So I'm gonna head out of here. Get a grip, absolutely. Get a grip. I'm gonna head out of here, and I will see all you guys soon. Again, thanks for hanging out. Take care, and bye-bye, everybody.